All right, so Denver's been one of the hottest cities to move to these last few years. Well, today I'm standing in the middle of Denver right now, gonna dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about the 5 things that you must know before moving to Denver, Colorado.
All right, let's go. All right, welcome back to the channel, you guys. You're watching Living in Denver with your Colorado real estate family, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney.
And if you haven't done so already, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, guys. We are putting out 2 videos a week now, and we want you to be notified every single time we put out a new video. Also, we're gonna put our phone number down below, so if you wanna call or text us, we are answering your calls every single day.
Yeah, guys, if you don't already know this about us, we approach our videos as natives, as a family, and as your licensed real estate professionals helping you purchase your homes in Colorado. So let's go ahead and check out Denver from the Sky's View, and we'll be right back. All right, so we already mentioned how popular Denver has been these last few years. It's been one of the top spots to move to from all around the country. It's growing like crazy, guys. I'm gonna tell you that there's so many things that you need to know if you're looking at moving to the Denver area, because a lot of people have already moved here. They've already experienced it, right? And so there's something appealing about Denver. We're really gonna break in and see what's so appealing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the biggest thing that's appealing to us, I mean, for the most part, ourselves, is the sports. It's like the sports is amazing here. You have the Rockies, you have the Nuggets, the Avalanche, the Broncos, of course. And it's all just like so close right here. So where if you live downtown Denver, you access it from pretty much anywhere. And I'm gonna tell you, like the Rockies, the Avalanche, I could bring them all up, but Broncos are always number one. This is always Broncos country. And so I'd say like first place is probably the Broncos. Second place is everyone else. So.
Yeah, I mean, just to tell you a little bit, like from family perspective and a mom, like there is nothing better than taking your family to a game. And I mean, it is a little harder with them being younger, but oh my gosh, like I see kids, I mean, it is such a great family thing. So we took Kingston to the Rockies game. So he's been to the Rockies game with his popo. Addie's been to a Broncos game, and we decked her all out. We'll show you pictures.
Yeah, she wasn't even 6 months old yet.
No, there's a reason we had to take her.
Yeah, she was pretty young.
She was a little baby.
I mean, we were excited. I mean, we've always been, lifelong Broncos fans, and mainly because of my grandma. The rest of my family wasn't that big of a Broncos fan. My grandma, of all people, is one, and she's always rooting Elway and stuff. So
yeah, and the tailgate parties, guys. This is insane. Like you have to get down here early just to find a spot, because it is like they love it. People don't mind. They expect the traffic around it. They don't mind. They expect the parking, like all of that. And then of course you got your ticket holders and things that you can kind of get the advantage of all those things. Or like a lot of our people will take us as their guests on their ticket holders and stuff. But the tailgating is insane. Like it's so much fun. Live music. I mean, food forever.
You got people like literally setting up like it's almost like a little house type stuff where they're cooking food. They got like this little area where people are watching the TV, drinking. It gets pretty crazy. And I know, like, I had a buddy who lived in Philly. He told me how crazy. I mean, your guys' whoever lives in Philly is watching this
you
video
Philly
right now.
people out there.
I mean, I've heard that your tailgating is like compared second to none, right? But I mean, we do
man.
go pretty hardcore here in Denver. It's awesome to go to. It's a lot of fun. It's just so many good people too. It's just everyone's like so inviting. It's not just like one against the other. It's like my party's better than yours. You just walk up and everyone's just like offering drinks and everything. It's just a great time.
It's a good culture. So, coming from a mom's perspective, I kind of got to give you the lowdown on that. Like, if you're going to be going to a Broncos game, like, it's pretty high security, to be honest. And so I breastfed for way too long. Don't ask about it, but whatever. And I had to take my breast pump with us when we went, and they had to like call people down. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It's a breast pump. It's not a bomb. But they came and they tagged it as a medical thing. So no big deal. So if you are a mom and you are breastfeeding, they now do have, a lot of the hospitals had donated the little, they're like little pods or whatever for breastfeeding. But regardless, you take your kids to the Rockies or the Mammoth, very different story, okay?
Yeah.
You can walk and you could pack a lunch. You could and then you could just put them at we took them to the Mammoth game?
The Mammoth game, yeah.
With our friends.
Yeah.
All of us have young kids and we're like, oh gosh, is this going to be fun or is it going to be a disaster?
Yeah.
In both the Rockies and the Mammoth, there's like high bleachers where the kids can kind of just like run, yes, you're in the nosebleed
They're like
section.
rocking out because the music gets pretty loud, and so the kids are like up there like
especially the Mammoth game.
AC/DC going.
Yeah,
They're just like swinging their
rowdy.
fists. Oh yeah.
Well, and yes, you're in the nosebleed section when you take the kids like that, but it's so enjoyable because now the kids, you don't have to worry about the kids trying to get in the neighbor's lap. I don't know about your kid, but my kid for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you could just have fun. You can bring snacks. You don't have to spend a fortune when you get to the Rockies game. So if you're a mom, you're a family of youngins, maybe you start with the Mammoth and the Rockies, but when you're ready to get full blown in and you're ready to just go for it, tailgate the whole 9 yards, you don't mind waiting in line for a breast pump, Broncos is where it's at here. So
very cool, guys. All right, we're gonna move on to our second thing, and this one's pretty. I don't even know how to. I guess you could just list it off: chapstick, lotion, sunscreen.
Chapstick.
Yep, you're gonna need it here for sure. I mean, we're a mile high, guys.
Yes.
We're 5,280 feet here in downtown Denver. Of course, if you go in the mountains, you're gonna go up a little bit more. The sun's intense here. It's dry here. We have seriously little to no humidity at all.
I can't imagine why.
Can I get you anything?
Water would be nice.
So you are seriously always putting on that chapstick, always putting on that lotion, and sunscreen. I don't have to worry too much about it, but
I do.
Whitey over here.
I was like, me and my daughter definitely buy out all the sunscreen department of everywhere. Yes, I mean, chapstick is huge. Like, people will come here after being in a humid, and like even your hair, okay, I'm sorry, but I'll go to like place where it's humid, my hair's like this curly mess. Here, like, you don't have to worry about any of that because it's super dry, but you're like so dry everywhere, like even your
it's
little
actually
kiddos.
nice, like when we go to humid places, it's like, oh, I don't have to put lotion on today, and
Yeah.
my skin feels so good, and my hair's like doing this amazing thing, and
Your
we
hair
come
does
here-
an amazing
yeah.
thing. I look like a
well,
poodle.
and so isn't there something too with dry climates with static in your hair and stuff like that?
Yeah, here's my trick. All you staticky people out there like me, when your hair gets all crazy, is you take a dryer sheet. And I'm serious, it works.
I had no idea that she did
You
this.
take a
No
dryer
clue.
sheet and you rub it on your hair, and it will make it so it's not staticky.
Yep.
There's my trick. If you don't get anything else out of this video, dryer sheet to the hair during the dry climates. But
cool.
yeah, I mean, pretty much I'm licking my lips in every video. If you've been following us for a while, that's why. But it's always because it's so dry here. What about, like, I'm sure that affects like your lawns and stuff too in comparison, or
Well,
the
I mean,
plants
it's
that
not.
you can do.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, we don't get as much moisture as like Oregon's amazing. Whenever I went out there to like Portland area, they just get so much rain and stuff like that, and it's also humid, so the grass is super nice. But it's just the sun is so much more intense here, guys, and that's something that you're really gonna have to look forward to. Kind of moving into Denver, Colorado. So. All right, cool. So the third thing that you really need to know, and this is the biggest one I think for the Denver area, and it has been for the last probably like 10 years, is the light rail station. And we actually, that's why we decided to record here. This is the biggest like thing that came to Denver recently, and still to come too. It's like you don't have to live in downtown anymore to experience downtown, because this light rail goes all over the outside of the Denver metro area, right? Goes all the way up to North Thornton, all the way down South Highlands Ranch, and so you could still live on the outskirts and still just take the light rail down and do the whole thing of experiencing downtown. And even with these like little scooters now, I finally rode one. If you guys, what video was that? I said I haven't rode one yet, so she finally got me on one. And man, they're pretty quick.
They're fun. Yeah, the thing about Denver is you can live on the outskirts. You can park somewhere where you don't have to pay for parking. If you watched any of our videos where we talk about like maybe you don't want to move to Denver. It's because we're highlighting some of those things that you may or may not be for you. But it's so easy. We parked somewhere we didn't have to pay for parking, which is a pet peeve of ours, paying for parking everywhere you go. So we just avoided that. And then we hopped on a scooter and came down right to the light rail so you guys can see it first. So like there are so many things that you could do, so many places you can live and still access Denver like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I mean, Denver, it's just, like I said, you have downtown area, and of course it goes out a little bit further, but if you want to live on one of the suburban areas more like we do, our family, we just prefer the suburban area a little bit more, but having that light rail station just keeps us a little bit more connected to downtown, which is pretty awesome for sure.
Yeah, especially if you live here and you have family coming in. Maybe you just moved here and your family wants to come check out what it's like. Yeah. I mean, you can pretty much, get them down here wherever they are, wherever they're staying, or if you're living outside. I mean, it's just a great place for people to come and like get together, go and explore the restaurants and all of it. So.
Yep. All right, cool. What are we on? Are we on four?
Four.
Fourth thing that you didn't know about Denver, Colorado. We're freaking fit here, and we're one of the top fittest cities.
Fit here.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
Just kidding.
I'm Hans. Yeah, I'm Franz, and we are here to pump you up.
But here's the thing, guys, is we say that, and it's not all about, everyone's like going to the gym and being hardcore and nothing like that. Everyone in Denver is super active. I mean, you're always seeing people on bikes, walking around, running, and that's just a Denver lifestyle. You got the mountains that are right here too, so it's like if you're not doing your stuff in the what would you call it, concrete jungle of downtown Denver, they're up in the mountains, right? They're doing all the hiking, and during the wintertime, they're doing all the snowboarding and the skiing. And so we have so many activities that are just so near, even without having an ocean. Of course, we're going to be one of the fittest cities. And we got the bike trails.
Bike trails, yeah. Some of the bike trails, I mean, if you haven't seen our Boulder, Colorado videos, go check that out too. Yeah. But one of the trails connects from Denver to Boulder. And I don't know about you, but most people who are coming here want to see Denver and Boulder. So if you're active and you're a biker, I mean, that is a great, I mean, obviously it's a trek. I don't know if I would be venturing down that. I might take a scooter. But like, if that's something for you, like come check them out because we have bike rides that they go from one to the other. Chatfield, out to Chatfield to the lake. The other thing, talking about people being active, is how many places set up down here for ice rinks and things like that in the wintertime. So like, yes, most people venture, obviously to the mountains to kind of get that during the wintertime, the skiing, the snowshoeing, the snowboarding, all of that. But they literally set up an awesome rink downtown. It's like so beautiful with the holidays. Like they are always trying to do something to where you could pretty much be fit no matter what time of year and no matter where you are.
Yeah. So going back to the bike ride, I remember my dad used to always take me on the trails. We lived more up in the Westminster area, but we used to always ride our bikes right down near downtown, and it wasn't the funnest because my dad has this thing about riding his bike where he wants to go as fast as possible the entire time. And I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, Dad, come on, your legs are like way longer than mine. But it's so awesome how connected it is with all the trails. Like I said, you can do so many things. But yeah, like I said, you have the South Platte, which is running like straight through Denver. You have people always like running along that, and they're doing their bikes and all that stuff.
Well, and now they so I-25 comes like north and south, and then it kind of curves around Denver, and that's kind of where that South Platte River is. But there's this tiny little space in between I-25 and the river, and they've like built in there all these wonderful restaurants. We went, a couple of girlfriends of mine, we just went down there and had like wine and everything. But like they're lining things around it because people just love to run all along that and catch lunch while you're there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Final thing that you need to know about Denver, and it's the weather. And I'm sure you've heard this about Colorado all the time, how unpredictable our weather is. But at the same time, we have more sunshine days than Florida does, right? We have 300 days on average per year of sunshine. That's a ton of fun. That's so much you could do. But at the same time, seriously, you could be in the middle of March and it's 70 degrees, and the next day you have the freaking blizzard of the year, right? It's super unpredictable. But the good thing too is like if we have a huge storm, usually it's melted by the end of it.
Yeah, we always joke because people will say, well, if you don't like Colorado's weather, just stick around for like 24 hours because it changes, right? And so we travel a lot. We love to travel with our children, and also for our anniversary every year, we travel to celebrate our marriage. And when we go out to other places, especially different countries, these people are like, oh my God, it's like so snowy there. Like they think we live in this igloo, and we're like, no. Like when it snows, like okay, sure, fine, okay. And like what? When do we get our like biggest snow? Probably like February, don't you think?
No, usually it's May. It's
well,
weird.
That's the big dump, but it's not like the consistent snow.
They always say the May snowstorm, you got to watch out for it because it's just like we had the record one, I think is back in 2003. It was like in the middle of May.
That's the dump though. Don't plant your flowers. I think we talked about this in another video.
That's after Mother's Day.
Go find it. We're challenging you to go find that clip in all of our videos. No, so we do have that big dump in May, but the most snow that we get kind of consistently is probably in February, and even then it's like it's not a big deal. Like the May one is way heavier then the like slight snowfall for like a week maybe, you know. And again, it's usually so we have a south-facing. Is it south-facing drive?
The south-facing, yeah.
And our poor neighbor, like he obviously is across the street, and like
and has a north-facing
and
drive.
everyone takes like care of their like stuff, and so they're getting out there and they're like bonding over, you know, shoveling. Well, Peter could just do like one little snow shovel, and then by the end of the day, it's like all freaking melted.
No, I usually don't have to snow shovel. Like I go to leave to the gym in the morning. I'm like, hey, how's it going, Dave? He's out there shoveling, and I come back and mine's already done.
He's like still
He's
shoveling.
still shoveling.
Oh God,
and
it's so sad.
That's the thing. If you buy a house here and you don't want to shovel too much snow, you better get that south-facing house.
Yeah, good news is usually our weather warms up in enough time. Like if he wasn't just a great homeowner and like going out there and making sure it was tidy, it would probably melt in like a couple days at the most.
Well, it depends. I mean, during the cold months, you got ice.
Yeah.
And so that turns into ice, and then you have to worry about a fall hazard and all that crap. So.
Yeah, but we do. I mean, honestly, if I were to ever move, like I think one of the best things about Denver is our seasons. Our seasons are gorgeous.
We have those
them
true
all.
seasons, all 4 seasons, like legit, like all the way. It's just no
I mean,
hiding that at all.
fall is my jam, right? The colors down here are beautiful. We have a lot of aspen that changes through all the colors. And
the changing
people
trees.
come to our mountains to see our seasons. And so living in Denver, you get it all. So the good thing also about Denver, like actually in the heart of Denver, is that they take care of their roads and all of that. And so if there is snow, they're out here plowing because they know people have to get to work. So versus like if you're on the suburbs, you might be kind of the second line, you know? So at least if you are getting the snow, you're getting it pretty, the removal pretty quick, you know? So
cool, guys. All right, well, there we go. We brought you the 5 things that you need to know about Denver, Colorado. If you have any other questions, throw some comments below. We're more than happy to kind of answer those for you.
Yeah, and if there's a certain area that you want, we just had somebody reach out. We go everywhere around Denver. So if there is an area that you want us to look into for you, or you want us to dive in a little deeper to some of the areas that we've already covered, please let us know. We do these videos for you. We want you to know what you're getting yourself into and somebody that you can love, trust, and be here local for you guys. So.
All right, sounds good, guys. We love you. And until next time,
bye. Putting out 2 videos a week right now, and we want you to be notified every single time that a new video is released.
Yeah, guys. Chelsea Sweeney.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't done so already, please.
All right, so Denver, it's a larger city, and it's growing like so